Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. Summer is coming to a close, but before we move on to fall, let's recap the month that was August 2019. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Tropical Bitch by Flying Dog. It's a Belgian IPA.
You can't say bitch on the channel. Here could be kids watching.
Alright, you know the drill. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and stay tuned for this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
What's going on, guys? It's Smash JT, and you are watching one of my favorite channels in all of YouTube, Gaming Off the Grid. Hey guys, take it away.
Alright, here we go. It's time for another monthly recap. It is so hard to believe it's almost fall.
Man, that's insane in the membrane.
Yeah, the summer just flew right on by. Wow. But you know what? We're here today to talk about August, recap the month, some things that moved us, and August was a really, really great time.
Oh, it was fantastic. So now let's jump in to one of my favorite categories of the monthly recap, and that is YouTube Channel of the Month. Now, who are we talking about today?
Today I would like to talk about Baltimore retro gaming.
Yes.
We initially found John's channel because he's way into shooters.
Oh,
that's
dude,
his expertise.
He is fantastic at shooters, and he knows everything about them. Japanese imports, American shooters, and dude, watching him play a shooter is insane.
Yeah.
He just lives the patterns.
Yeah, learn the patterns, live the patterns is a quote directly from John at Baltimore Retro Gaming himself. But such an awesome channel, and even a cooler person. He's just, him and I text back and forth, and he's funnier than hell. And on top of all that, if you're not into shooters, I still think you need to check out the channel because he does pick up videos. He's got a great video game collection. He's recently been going really hard on the Nintendo Switch, and he has a great knowledge of gaming in general, especially like RPGs and things like that. He's really into RPGs, JRPGs, and shooters, but he's got kind of the whole gamut, and it's just an awesome channel. He just recently crossed the 1,000 sub mark,
which is badass.
So we wanted to do a feature on him in a recap video before we can, because anybody over 2,500 subs, you go.
Yeah, you're too big.
Not eligible. Yeah. So, anyways, go over, check out Baltimore Retro Gaming. You won't be disappointed. Hang out with John for a while, and I'm sure that he'll make you smile.
Yeah, we'll leave the links to every channel or everything we talk about in the description below. Now let's move on to the next category, and that is YouTube Video of the Month. This one is awesome.
It is, and we're completely off the beaten path as far as video game related stuff here. The Stone Cold Steve Austin episode of Hot Ones is unreal. It just like reaffirmed why he's one of my favorite wrestlers ever.
Dude, he is such a badass, and it's
he's
so funny. If you've never seen the Hot Ones, this guy basically interviews people while they eat hot wings, and they get hotter and hotter as they go, and it's really funny just to watch people suffer through eating hot wings. But Stone Cold is such a badass, and he's like, is this next one gonna be hot? Boy, you're lying to me.
Yeah,
like,
it's just so good, and he, just his character is just how he is, and the stuff he says.
And that's the Broken Skull Ranch margarita. And each one you drink is a triple. So by the time you drank 2 of my margaritas, that's 6 shots of tequila. You're good. Yeah, now I'm not good, but you would be good.
And I also have always loved his knowledge of professional wrestling. Like, it goes beyond, him being the beer swelling, ass kicking son of a bitch. The guy knows wrestling.
Yeah.
The chemistry behind it, his in-ring psychology, that just pours out of him, and you can see him light up when he's talking about it. It's really cool.
Oh, it's so cool. He tells so many cool stories about wrestling in this episode, so you gotta go check out the Stone Cold Hot Ones episode. It is awesome.
And favorite story that he told was about Jake the Snake.
Yeah, so
puffing on a cig before matches.
It got me all fired up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
And speaking of getting fired up, now let's go move on to Video Game of the Month.
Yeah, so if you've been following us in the month of August, you probably already know where we're going with this one. We did a live stream. It was also in a episode where we talked about 5 beat-em-ups that play similar to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That is Mortal Kombat, Shaolin Monks. This game has taken us by storm. We're definitely going to be live streaming it again.
Yes.
We're going to definitely beat it before the end of the year. Such a badass game. And I don't know how we missed it the first time around, because we were both way into PS2.
I think I might have missed it because, yeah, I enjoyed Mortal Kombat, but I never actually owned a Mortal Kombat game because I was like, dude, I suck at these. I'm not going to buy them, and I probably just assumed this was another typical Mortal Kombat game.
Yep.
But no, this is a beat 'em up. It's 2 players, man. It is so much fun.
Yeah, totally a game that if you think about just a beat 'em up, and then you kind of blend maybe Gauntlet Legends with God of War.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how this game plays, and then you add the Mortal Kombat aspect with some fatalities in there. I mean, it is literally right now. It's the only game I care to play. We are playing the hell out of it.
It's so much fun, and I kind of just want to stop doing this and live stream it and play it again.
Yeah, we might. We can't.
Oh, we can't. Dang it. Now let's move on to comment of the month. We get a lot of sweet comments on our videos, but this one actually goes back to our last monthly recap for July, Afflicted One commented, and he told us a story, and it is so funny.
It is, and he's been a longtime follower and subscriber of the channel, so Afflicted One, thank you so much for your support. But this comment just was, I don't know why it made me laugh so much, but I really like it.
Here is the comment. Just listening to the Unsolved Mysteries music sends chills down my spine. Let me tell you from experience, it is a horrible idea to watch an episode of UM about abduction and murder before having to go outside in the pitch dark. When I was a kid, it was my responsibility to take the dog out one last time before bed, and one night after watching an episode, I nearly shit myself when my dog got spooked by a plastic bag blowing in by the wind. It was like that scene from Home Alone where Kevin screams his head off the whole way to his house after seeing the old dude. I just threw the leash and booked it. Luckily the dog followed, which is good because I wouldn't have gone back for that asshole.
I just love the story. I don't know. I just love the main thing that I like about our comment sections is how alive they are and hearing people's stories. So we always like put a pinned comment up there and it's like, hey, tell us about X, Y, and Z. And we love it when someone just kind of opens up. And you know, he could have easily left the, hey, great video, dudes, love you guys. It just kind of led us into a little bit of a story that meant something to him growing up.
And it's so funny that he calls his dog an asshole. Like that's just
cherry on top, baby.
Icing of the cake.
Yep.
So that comment of the month goes to you, Afflicted One.
Yep, cheers, man.
Now let's move on to beer. What's our beer of the month?
So this was a beer that was given to us at Mo Game Con from our good friend BK, who either one of two things. He either lives in the best beer area in the country, or he just knows a ton about beer. And I think both could possibly be true. This is a beer by Duclaw from their Pastryarchy series called Creme Brulee. And it was a brown ale.
It was a brown ale.
So good.
Oh my God, it's so good. And it's one of those beers that sucks because it's so good, and I don't think I'm ever going to have it again.
Yeah.
Unless BK kind of sent us.
Yeah, so it very good. He's given us tons of great beer, but that beer really stood out. And the cool thing about it, which is why you got to be curious if you're a beer fan, be curious, test things, because traditionally neither one of us are the biggest brown ale fans, right? But that beer was fantastic.
It was so good. It was such a good like dessert beer. It tasted like creme brulee. Oh my gosh, I want it now.
I want it now. All right, we love to do this little bit in these recap episodes called What's On in the Game Room. So we do a lot of editing. We spend a lot of time in here, if you guys didn't know that already, and there's always something going on in the background. Sometimes there's a visual, sometimes it's audio, sometimes it's both. But this month, the TVs haven't been on. We have been immersed in a fog listening to this band on Sub Pop Records called Beach House.
Oh my God. So we discovered them at Mo Game Con, and we talked about them in our Mo Game Con recap, but we've been listening to Depression Cherry, Seven, Bloom, their like last 3 albums, and holy crap, they are so good. It's such good like ambient mood music. I don't even know how to describe it, but it just like puts you in like this weird vibe, and it kind of transports me back into Mo Game Con, like when we discovered them. I love it.
So yeah, the style of music I've got like in my head, at least what I think it should be called, dream alt pop is what I would call it. When we're editing and stuff, there's something about it, and I don't know how you feel, that it's like helps me focus. I've been putting it on at work too, and like that focusing element of it, I don't know, there's just something so dreamy, and ambient is a great word that you use to describe it. You definitely need to check out Beach House. I know the Mo Game Con crew would agree. BK and Do You Nerd were on board, and they're a great band, and I think you would definitely enjoy.
I think in our near future we are going to see a show hopefully by them.
That would be amazing.
That's a dream bucket list right there.
Yep.
So now let's move on to monthly highlights. This is a fun category that's new to the monthly recap.
Yeah, so this is kind of something that we did in the month that's just atypical for us. It was outside of the normal borders of what we do here at Gaming Off the Grid. And we did an event at Peachtree Brewery in Knoxville, Iowa, based around Mario Kart. So they have this Knoxville Nationals thing that rolls through this town, which is about racing and stuff. And other than Mario Kart, I don't think neither one of us know anything about racing. But this is a really fun event to get with a brewery that is kind of like-minded and creative. And Peachtree makes great beer, and they've been very good to us. So it was fun to partner with them on this. We had every home console release of Mario Kart available to play to the public, and with as many players as was an option on the console at that given time.
Which is so cool. And then we had a TV from each era, so like the Super Nintendo, the N64, the GameCube, the Wii, the Switch. It was so cool.
And we loved all of our CRTs there because we wanted them to play it the real way.
The real way.
There was no upscaling going
And it was
on.
so cool because usually, like if I were to go to an event like that, I would go to Double Dash and play that one. But it was cool seeing how people would start with the Super Super Nintendo and play all of them in the order they came out, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, and we had like a little description sheet for each pod where, you know, it like said the history of the game, and it was really neat, especially when parents brought their kids in, because their kids were wanting to play Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, but their parents were like, hey, no, let's like play Mario 64. And then the other fun part to me was there were kids literally who have never seen an N64 before.
Yeah.
And one of them literally looked back at you and said, hey, excuse me, sir, how do you hold this controller?
How do you turn?
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, and you know, I personally got a joy out of like teaching kids how to power slide on Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64.
And it was fun to just be able to actually play Mario Kart with random people we don't know.
Yeah.
We were just drinking beer and having fun, and it was so much fun. And then the other thing we did this month is Mo GameCon. Obviously, that was such a fantastic weekend.
Yeah,
and
there's not much more we can say about Mo GameCon, so we'll put a little blip up here, you know. But it was an incredible time, and we don't want to beat a dead horse, but we were seriously the time of our life when we go to these conventions. When we get to hang out with our friends, it's freaking awesome.
It's rock and roll. And speaking of rock and roll, let's talk about the Tropical Bitch. It's a Belgian IPA from Flying Dog, and our friend BK gave us this beer as well.
Absolutely. I'll let you start. You're the IPA guy, so I kind of want to know your thoughts on this because I've got mine going.
So, is this the best IPA I've ever had? No, but I will say that this is a really refreshing. It has really good flavor. I don't think I've ever had a Belgian IPA before, so I was very confused on what that meant. But the hops are very minimal. At least on my palate, they're probably aggressive to you because your tongue is weak. But this is a really good beer. This is a great summer beer because it's not too heavy. I'm really enjoying this.
I enjoy this a lot, and actually, it is a little more on the aggressive side for me, but it's not something that I find offensive. And there is, you know, this element that I do pick out of a Belgian beer. Like, it does have a little bit of that mouthfeel, the thickness, especially on the back end. Some IPAs for me dissipate.
Usually.
Not the taste, but the mouthfeel, if that makes any sense. But this is a thicker beer, and I enjoy this.
It's really good. So thank you so much, BK.
Yeah, anyway, anything else you want to say about August 2019?
I just want to say, holy crap, what a fantastic month. I can't believe it's September already. Where did the year go?
Yeah, we got to get geared up for the Halloween run, which there's going to be some awesome things going on the channel. We say it all the time in these episodes, and hopefully in other ones, but thank you so much for all your support.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
The continued support in our comment section. We're now officially a YouTube partner, which that's all thanks to you guys. It blows my mind. We're bigger than we ever thought we would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's that. And then the engagement again. You know, we don't have the most subscribers, but I literally feel like we have got the most like dedicated subscribers. It's just an awesome feeling to know, like, man, these people give a shit when we post something.
And every time we get a new comment, I get excited. So every time you leave a comment, we love it. So don't be afraid to leave a comment. If you're watching these videos and never leave a comment, please leave a comment. We would love to get to know you. Tell us your stories. Be like Afflicted One and call your dog an asshole.
And,
it's awesome.
And if you're not into the comment thing, another good way to kind of break that ice, I feel like, with our community is to join a live stream.
Yes.
I feel like it's a great icebreaker. The live streams are very unprepared. There's not much editing. It's not like a traditional episode like you're watching now.
It's chaos.
It's very loose, and it's almost like a comment or a chat room with your friends. We just have fun, and sometimes we drink a little too much, and we play games, and we usually play them pretty bad, and sometimes we don't even play much games at all. We just talk. So those are always fun. So if you want to hang out with us, on a different level, that would be awesome if you join one of those. So anyways, we appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Thanks for riding dirty with us through the month of August 2019. We'll see you in September. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid.
We're rolling there. Speaking of rollings, I think he's engaged now.
He is to freaking
to Becky Lynch.
Fucking Becky.
Isn't he from Ohio?
Fucking Becky.
Oh, dude, I've cheated on my cousin so many times. Don't tell him.
Yeah, I fucking hung out with my other cousin.
Yeah, dude, don't tell him.
And sit back, relax, pour yourself a bitch if you care to, and stay tuned to this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Dude, yes. That's what we have to have that side conversation where you can't say it, and then you gotta pour yourself a bitch if you